What's good, my man of society? It is your host with the most, Shadow Loke, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It's absolutely free. Don't cost a damn thing. You'll be helping my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. You know, it's absolutely free. Now, what I wanted to talk about today was the Rockefellers, right? I was actually having a conversation with an individual and said if I could make a video about this, right? And what are my thoughts on the Rockefellers? And well, his opinion is that they're evil and they're the most wickedest people that have been put on this planet to enslave man and, other stuff, right? And that's cool. I may not agree with homie, but he's entitled to have his views, right? Um, Now, when I do my research on you know somebody who's like controversial, I like to get I like to read and research all the positive things that people say about this individual, right? All the positive stuff and all the negative stuff, right? And then I grab all that knowledge, right? And then I just I decipher um, what I feel is bias points of views, or what I feel is people slandering and stuff like that, right? So I flush all of that out to come with my conclusion. Not to say that I'm right and everyone else is wrong, but to come to what do I think, right? To come to my own thoughts about somebody or something. So, for those who are not aware who the Rockefellers family is, they're the first billionaire family, right? So they're one of the richest families in the whole entire planet, right? We're talking about they had insane kind of money, bro. You know what I mean? So much money, bro, that the United States government, our government went and borrowed money from these individuals. Look it up if you think I'm lying. Our government borrowed money from these individuals. That's how much money these guys have. Right now, throughout time, the Rockefellers have been known to be some shady people, right? Especially the father, right, of it all, right? Bill Rockefeller, who was a con artist, right? He was a con man. He was somebody who used to sell fake products to people and con them out of money, right? Now, his mother was a complete opposite. Well, John D's mother, right, which is the wife of Ben Rockefeller, was a complete opposite of him, right? She was a Christian who believed, who was I guess a good person, people could say, right? Whatever you consider good to be, right? And to their son, right? The son got a little bit of both worlds, right? The son managed to get some of the selling tactics from the father, right? How to be a good salesman and how to sell a cheap product, to people, right? To convince them to buy it, right? But at the same time, he also learned how to save money and be humble from his mother, right? Like I said, so he got a little bit of both worlds, right? And he went out there and built his empire, bro. You know what I mean? From all kinds of ideas and shit that he would do, right, to gain him the wealth that he managed to build up, right? His empire, right? And throughout time, they did things right, like they donated, like, which was in our time and our money would be like more than $1 billion to build an education system, to build schools, right, for people, right, to learn, right. He also supplied the when the United States had its civil war, he supplied the Union, right. So he supplied the Union, which was the good side, which was the ones that were against slavery, right? So he supplied them, right? So people say, "Oh man, this guy has done good for the country, and he's a good dude." But other people say that, nah, he was only doing what he did because he was looking to get money and what they will. Now, for the school system, I do believe that going based off of his life, right? He had a pretty rough childhood. Like I said, the guy Bill was a con artist. He had multiple wives in different locations, and he had a different family they weren't aware of, so they would move around a lot, and people, would find out the scam, and they would have to move, and people just didn't like them because of the dad, right? So growing up, he had it pretty rough, right? So, and they didn't have much money, right? So now he's rich. He built his empire. So, the individual, that's going to take a toll regardless. Regardless, it's going to take a toll in shaping somebody as an adult, right? So I personally believe that yes, he was building these schools and everything because it was just a business. Like it's business. Like I'm only doing it not because I actually care, but because I'm gonna get some money in return. Now, how do I come to this conclusion? Going based off of the quotes that he has said, right? Especially when he had said, this is a quote from his, where he says, "I don't want to build a nation of thinkers. I want to build a nation of workers." When it comes to the school system that he was building, right? So, he doesn't want people to be entrepreneurs, no competition. He wants people to be, just to go to a place to learn how to take orders, pretty much. But at the same time, people are getting an education, so what does it matter, right? So that's why people are always torn about, wait, is he a good guy or is he not a good guy? Well, he did it for the money. Now, don't get me wrong, you're getting something out of it too. So, I mean, however you want to take that, right? So, and same thing, right? If he was a good person, like people say and stuff like that, then he would have found it no sided when it comes to the war, because people are gonna die out there, right? People are gonna lose their life in this war. If he really was this positive figure and stuff like that, he would, have gone out there to look to a way to diffuse it, right? But instead, no, because the war was bringing him money, right? Because soldiers have to eat, had to, needed clothing and everything, and he owned the companies for that, right? So the longer they're out there fighting and stuff like that, the more money he's making. But at the same time, it's for a good cause, right? To no slaves and stuff like that. So you can see why people are torn, right? Because he knew how to pick his battles, right? Like he would get into something, and people couldn't really how can I say, people couldn't really complain or say that, oh, that this is negative, right? Because it always came with something positive attached to it, right? So that's why you always got people, on both sides, right? The people that could see, for what it is, but at the same time, it's for a good cause, at least. Um, so, that's why people are borderline with this family. Right? Because some people could see that, man, that's scandalous. These people were just playing everybody. They weren't really good people. These guys were fooling all of you, man. They were conning all of you guys. Yeah, you could see it like that because in all true reality, he wasn't looking to enslave people or didn't want to enslave everybody. He wasn't this monster evil person. What he was really greedy. You know what I mean? He was a greedy individual, no competition, wanted to make as much money as possible. He was infatuated with money, an obsession, you could say, right? He was money hungry. He didn't care how he got it or who got hurt or what happened. He just wanted to earn money. No matter what, shit might come with it. And people lost their lives and all this and that, right? So people can see that as scandalous. But at the same time, he's done along also some positive stuff. But like I've always said, just because you do something positive doesn't forgive the negative behavior, right? So in all true reality, he wasn't a good guy, right? But he wasn't this guy who's looking to control the world, He was just looking for, he lived in his own little bubble, right? Like he wanted to just make as much money for himself and shit like that, right? Because of greed. And why I say that, people always say when it comes to like Illuminati or this world power, they always involve the Rockefeller family. But I have always said, people who have this type of personality, like his, borderline narcissists, sociopaths, people like that cannot get along with each other, bro. One sociopath won't be able to get along with another sociopath, or psychopath won't be able to get along with another psychopath. You know what I mean? They just won't be able to get along. History itself has shown that. You know what I mean? For example, look at Stalin and Hitler, right? Stalin and Hitler were both, some of the worst people on this planet, right? Dictators who ruled with an iron fist, who were just, crazy, right? Hitler ended up backstabbing Stalin, and Stalin had plans on backstabbing Hitler, right? It's just that Hitler beat him to the punch. And not only that, Hitler didn't like Mussolini, you know what I mean? And didn't even like the Japanese ambassador, right? So he had plans on flipping on the people on his allies, right? Hitler was already planning on backstabbing his allies, and they were the same. Because people like that, I'm telling you, bro, they'll just backstab each other. Their egos won't allow them to share the spotlight, bro. So when we're talking about a global power, bro, egos like this won't allow them to share the light, bro. They're not gonna want to share the light, bro. You see it in mafias, you see it in gangs, you see it like I said with countries. These individuals just can't share the spotlight. So getting everyone to who's similar like you, right? When it comes to being shady and shisty individuals, right? To get a big amount like that in order to enslave everybody, right? You need a big amount of men, right? To obviously govern everything, right? You're just not gonna be able to keep everybody who's similar like you in thinking in line, bro, because they just can't coexist with each other. They won't be able to coexist with each other. You'll see them start taking each other out like it always happens. That's one thing we have learned, when it comes to overall human behavior and the psychology of man, that these people just can't get along with each other. So you can never have one person truly ruling an empire like wicked and evil, right? Like mistreating everybody, because eventually even his people who follow his same way of logic and thinking will eventually, plot and plan to take this person out. They'll never be able to keep, everyone in line and everyone really truly being loyal to them when they act like that, bro, because everyone can see it, bro, and ain't nobody like you. You cannot domesticate man. So overall, in general, I don't feel like he was in cahoots or this plan of this one government Illuminati type nonsense, right? But I do believe he was, a bad person who was greedy and did a lot of shady, scandalous shit for money. That's my personal opinion on the individual. Do I think he was a devil? Nah. Do I think he was a piece of shit? Yeah. But that's just my opinion. Shadow, we out.